Dame Dash, co-owner of Roc-A-Fella Records with his partner Jay-Z and Dame Dash, who always claimed they were supposed to be Rockefeller for life. This slogan was sung in the songs produced on the majority of their biggest hits. They both had different visions. Neither discussed the vision for the company. According to Hanwha.com, Roc-A-Fella Records started by Dame and Jay-Z taking on the record labels. Roc-A-Fella Records was opened because nobody wanted to sign Jay-Z. Jay said Dame was the only one who had faith in me. Dame was ghosted by former partner Jay-Z. The two only crossed paths 2 times in the span of 15 years. Jay sold part of the company to Def Jam's parent group for 50% stake in the company. Biggs should his share to Island Def Jam. Dame reconstructed Roc-A-Fella, making Dipset's Cameron and State Properties' Benny Siegel as vice presidents. HOV spoke to the press. Nothing has taken place yet, the statement making things even more contentious. The beef from this partnership started from 2 men being interested in the same girl. The deceased artist Aaliyah was on every man's Christmas list in the industry. Aaliyah was open to Dame Dash more than anyone else. Jay-Z comes on to Aaliyah, and she didn't turn him away. Rumors circulated that Aaliyah was seen snuggled up with Jay-Z. Aaliyah's past, including a Robert Kelly, whom was helping Aaliyah with her first debut album. R. Kelly was intimate with Aaliyah at the age of 14. Rumors claim they were married without her parents' knowledge of the act. Media reported he gave the teen a STD years later. Jay-Z decides Roc-A-Fella would do an album and 2 tours with Robert Kelly. Dame Dash was dismayed, disgusted, and taken aback that Jay could do an album with a man who raped his girl. Aaliyah's underage marriage with R. Kelly was rape. The above move by Jay-Z made Dame Dash distance himself from the project. Dame allowed Jay-Z to have all the profits and royalties to the project. Dame sought revenge and made a pass at Jay-Z's present wife Beyoncé, but she remained loyal to Jay. Dame attempts to sell his part of Roc-A-Fella Records as NFT. Jay-Z shut that down. Dame Dash received copyright infringement in a lawsuit. He lost the suit. Jay-Z claimed he owned all the rights. The state stepped in to buy the Dame's portion of the company to sell his shares to pay the back taxes. The state brought it. New York owns the shares. According to thesource.com, Dame Dash heard about Jay-Z's legal filing, stating a claim to reasonable doubt in 2031. His response: "This shit is still for sale." The battle over the rights to Jay-Z's iconic debut album, Reasonable Doubt, is nearing its conclusion. Recent legal filings reveal that the full ownership of the album will officially transfer to Jay-Z in 2031. This news comes as Dame Dash, co-founder of Roc-A-Fella Records, is facing the public auction of his 33.3% stake in the company, scheduled for later this month. TMZ states that the U.S. Marshals will auction Dash's shares in Roc-A-Fella Records, with a minimum bid set at $1.2 million. This auction follows years of Dash attempting to sell his shares, culminating in this forced sale. The proceeds from the auction are intended to cover a judgment from a civil suit Dash lost in 2022 to Josh Weber and Muddy Waters Pictures over defamation and copyright infringement related to the film Dear Frank. The beef has now involved the state of New York as the owner of Roc-A-Fella Records. The government will hold it due to Jay-Z poisoning the environment of the auction between Dash and the state of New York. Jay-Z is back in the spotlight. He is being labeled as an accomplice of raping a 13-year-old at a Diddy party. Tony Busby, a very popular lawyer, is suing Diddy Jay-Z friend for sexually assaulting partygoers, spiking their drinks, and recording forced acts. Jay speaks out against Busby. Busby goes the NBC with an accuser. Attorney Robert Sparks breaks down Jay-Z's recent media antics and say he's using the wrong tactics and that it will backfire on him playing with Tony Busby. Robert Sparks says Tony will use his words against him just like Bill Cosby. Elizabeth Ovison, also known as Superhead, says the same people who went after Cosby, Epstein, Weinstein, R. Kelly are all connected, causing a chain reaction spearheading the Me Too movement. Dame Dash hears the accusations against ex-partner and says the state of New York will go back into the books of Roc-A-Fella Records, predicting they could use anything they find in the case against HOV and Diddy, for he has been named because he is assumed to be guilty by association. Dash also praised Trump for beating Kamala Harris with the Diddy news. Trump pointed out that everyone supporting Harris was at them Diddy parties. Dame had lots of faith in Jay, but Jay had faith in the corporate structure and money. Jay-Z partners with famous billionaires after ghosting his partner and making a move on his girl. Dame was made to look like a bitter man. A man only grieving after a coke had crashes the plan of his late fiancée Aaliyah. In the biggest mistake, an error flying a plane over the Caribbean weighted down with too much equipment. Dame stood alone. Jay got married, moved on, and continued to make things hard for the person who believed in him. Dame still wishes him the best amid allegations.